Well, if this chart can break down these two trend lines, it's going to get wild. Looks like altcoins are going to make another test of this major resistance. The uptrend has not yet been broken. This chart is bouncing off the support similar it has been doing the previous times. Guys, let's jump straight into the Bitcoin price because some very interesting things are happening. So, like I said in yesterday's video, guys, we should not get bearish until we actually break the previous all-time high and break down. And this is why it's so important to always wait for confirmation, because we haven't done that so far. We're just getting a bounce from these levels. I find that very interesting because this might be showing us that this whole rally is not even done yet. So that is actually pretty bullish, guys. So I'm going to lean more into that perspective right now, that we are going to continue this rally even this late in the 60-day cycle. That is pretty crazy. However, of course, the perspective will change the moment we are going to break below the previous all-time high and break below it decisively. And I also shared that already yesterday in the community, guys. When we had this correction yesterday, I already said like, yo, the correction is not so strong, and my intuition actually tells me that we are not going that deep. So that was a very good call as well. Then when we have a look at Litecoin is one of the Then when we have a look at the stablecoin dominance, and this is also something that I shared in yesterday's video, and that's a little bit something I'm still not completely clear on what is happening right here. But on the daily time frame, as you can see right here, we have this bullish divergence, but the engulfing candle is a little bit wiped out because of this chart going down again, because Bitcoin is going up, right? There's an inverse correlation. And I also said that you have to watch this chart on the 4-hour or in the shorter term time frame, because we want to see this chart moving way bigger and further than price. So for example, we have a high right here, and then we come down, we have a low right here, and then we come up. We want to see this one coming up right here, but we don't want to see the price coming up too high, right? We just want to see the price coming up a little bit while the momentum indicator comes up a lot. So then it's rolling over right here again. And yeah, we got to see, guys, if this one comes down again on the 4-hour chart, we have to see where the price is going to be when this is right here, and also where the price is going to be again when this is right here. Because when this is going to roll back from oversold conditions and is rolling, getting a bullish cross, then we have to check a little bit, because the previous times, every time it gets a bullish cross, you see a little bit upwards here, also a little bit upwards movement, which basically means that Bitcoin is in that regards a little bit going down. So this is basically how to analyze this chart. And I think this is one of the best charts you can use to confirm any short-term price action, because this is basically a second chart that is exactly the same as Bitcoin. It only has an inverse correlation, which means it shows the opposite of what Bitcoin is doing. Then guys, let's go to the next one. This one is for me actually one of the most interesting charts right now, and that is the total crypto market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum, so basically the altcoins. And yeah, we all know that altcoins have been capitulating, bleeding for many years, and it's actually been pretty crazy process for many altcoin investors, that a lot of the gains, a lot of people didn't make gains while being invested in altcoin, while Bitcoin just started to rally. So that must be a terrible situation, or your patience is really being tested, right? But let's not forget that altcoins are always the shining stars at the last part of the bull market, when the most of the rally of Bitcoin has already been done, right? So when Bitcoin is really close to its top, to its bull market top, that is when altcoins are really starting to shine. So apparently we are not yet there. We are not yet there, but as you can see as well in this chart, we are getting super close. And I find it very interesting that we are right now getting supported from this uptrending line right here, because that might show us that we are going to get another test of the resistance. And yeah, the more often we are going to test the resistance, the higher the likelihood that we are actually going to break that resistance, right? So if we break this resistance, guys, then it would for me really be a big big move, because you can see that previous times when altcoins really broke the resistance right here, we had a massive rally in all the altcoins, and the time before that was actually similar as well. We have some resistance right here, we break out, massive rally, we have some resistance right here, we break out. There's just a change in market, there's a lot of liquidity is suddenly coming. Once we are breaking out from these charts, it opens up these liquidity doors. So I really hope that altcoins right now, if we can test the resistance again, and it looks like, because we are getting supported right here, we have a buy wick on the support, right? It's a higher low. It would be awesome if we right now can test the resistance again and break out. And we are really getting squeezed, guys, from this high, low, and we are making lower highs and higher lows, which means that we are getting squeezed into this triangle right here. And the altcoin market has to make a decision whether it wants to break out to the upside or to the downside. I'm pretty confident that it is going to try and break out to the upside. Why? Because we've entered this formation from an uptrend, and I think a lot of individual altcoin charts are looking very, very good. One of them, guys, being Litecoin, and Litecoin also had yesterday quite a moment of truth, because we were meeting this trend line that has been created since early April, and so far we are getting supported from the trend line. We are seeing a bounce from the trend line. Now we want to see follow through. We want to see basically a slow grind up, but we do not want to break below this trend line. And we want to see that the total market cap is going to grind up to the resistance. And once it breaks that resistance, we want to see a lot of big green candles like we have seen in the past, guys. Big green candles after consolidation from right here till right here is 170 days. So that's pretty decent time of consolidation that we have had. And as you can see, normally the rallies, they don't take that long, but they are very extreme. So I'm expecting something very similar, if not more extreme than what we have seen already so far, because altcoins tend to shine more later in the cycle, and we are getting later to the cycle. That's why a lot of things can happen right here. I'm very, very bullish, and especially if this thing break out to the upside, I think we can see a lot of altcoins in a very short amount of time, guys. In a very short amount of time, gain a lot of momentum, a lot of liquidity, and make very big price spikes to the upside. And there is not much time when that happens to then enter in all these positions, because when altcoins go, guys, they really go. They really go. So we can have, for example, look at Litecoin's past, especially in 2017. That was actually crazy. But when it goes, as you can see right here, once it goes, it moves sideways. It is like grinding up a little bit, but once it goes, it just goes. And a lot of people that are waiting for better prices are often sidelined. So for example, it goes up right here. People think that I wait for a correction. It goes higher, lower, and it goes higher, lower. And if you not enter, you will be left behind even here higher. And then we have a correction, but that correction is so short-lived. As you can see, that correction, we don't even spend a day at these levels. We just come here, it's directly getting bought up, and it's being catapulted further. So these days are coming, guys. These days are coming that for a lot of altcoins that we just go up, and there's no end to see up. Like Trump would say, like we will get tired of winning. But these hype will come, because that hype is needed for the big whales and the institutions that are positioned already right now. They need as well exit liquidity, and the only way to get exit liquidity is to build that hype. And the only way to build that hype is to get the prices as high as possible. Right? They need to get the prices as high as possible, because that will wake people up. It will bring a lot of attention, and then they play basically on people's emotions, because then the people are seeing these pumps. the retail people, and then their greed is getting triggered. And then once their greed is getting triggered, they want to enter because they are seeing these gains, and that is the moment that the insiders and whales, they are basically selling. So you got to have a lot of patience, guys. This is basically what smart money does as well. Like sometimes you got a position at a certain period of time, and then you just got to wait. You just got to wait until that hype is building up. That hype goes along with time. So there's only a period of time where that hype can be there, and I feel we are getting very closer. But here you can already see the build up, guys. The build up in this chart for Litecoin has been a very long time, but it is grinding up. The moment that this thing will break out and will just go crazy, it is, for me personally, when I look at it, it's just a matter of time. Look, it's just going sideways. It's going sideways. It's testing your patience. But you can already see right here, there is some cracks coming to that. There's some pressure entering. And we can see this is grinding up. So this is basically, it very much looks like the period right here. Because here the coins were not that old, right? So the coins were way younger, but we have a period where we go for a long-term sideways and eventually we grind up and then we just take off. And I think we are right now in the phase where we are preparing for takeoff, and it's just, you just got to have the longest breath. That's one of the most important things. You just got to have a long breath, because sooner or later it will happen. If this chart was super bearish, then it would have told us it wants to go to zero. It clearly doesn't want to go to zero. It clearly is in a consolidation. While consolidating, it is clearly in an uptrend. It's just a matter of time for this thing really to be launched in this last phase of the bull market. But yeah, maybe we first need to see a little bit more rallies in Bitcoin, a little bit higher prices in Bitcoin, before we are going to see all that liquidity going to altcoins. And guys, this probably might be one of the most important charts, the stablecoin dominance, right? We want to see this chart bleeding as much as possible. So let's just hope this thing is going to go down. I'm going to monitor this chart and I'm going to talk about that and share that in the community as well. If you're interested in that, make sure to join. There's a link down below in the description and it's completely for free. Guys, that was it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, smash up the like button, subscribe if you are new. Wish you all a beautiful day and hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye bye.